A very simple question, just 10 words tonight. But it's interesting that this question is not answered in the chapter. How shall we escape if we neglect so great salvation? I think that as you consider that question, you'll understand that the answer is obvious. Now, over the last 3 or 4 weeks, our prime minister, a lot of the premiers, the president of the United States, and a lot of the world leaders have been speaking to us concerning the danger and the advance of this pandemic of COVID-19. They have addressed this in some very strong terms. In fact, interestingly, our prime minister has spoken to us almost every day over the last 2 to 3 weeks. And some will likely be aware that just last Saturday, actually a week ago Saturday, the U.S. Surgeon General spoke to the nation. It'd be a little over a week and a half ago. Mr. Jerome Adams spoke, and he warned about the fact that, to use his words, this is going to be the hardest and the saddest week of most Americans' lives. This is going to be our Pearl Harbor. It'd be 1941, the incident. Our 9/11, 2001. Only it's not going to be localized. It's going to happen all over the country. Now, as I've listened to some of these warnings, some of these reports, I've been made aware that as these reports are given, that the language has become stronger. In fact, it's noteworthy, it's telling that some of these world leaders, some of these premiers and the prime minister have almost become angry. And our prime minister says, enough is enough. Well, what's the problem? Why that response on the part of these leaders? Well, very simply, they have become very stirred in their own soul because a lot of people, number one, are not listening. And number two, they're not believing the message. And number three, they are not responding. And so you've seen pictures, and I've seen pictures of people that are flocking to the parks, flocking to the beaches. Some are hosting huge parties. And the warnings are going unheeded. You know, when I come to Hebrews chapter 2, it strikes me that it's almost the very same thing in view there. That the writer of the Hebrews is addressing people, and they have been made aware of a pandemic, not of COVID-19, but a pandemic of sin, of condemnation, of judgment that is coming. And at the same time, they've been made aware of a very wonderful remedy, a Savior who has been sent. And despite all that they've heard, and despite all that they've seen, and despite all that they know, sadly, some of these people were not listening, and they're not believing, and they are not responding. And you know, it's not just a question from the past. This is a question that is absolutely timely for our time and for this moment, because you see, this is a question that every single one of us must face. How shall we escape if we neglect so great salvation?